Hey guys, it's Ik Lok here from Limit Break Lifestyle Academy again, and today I'm honored to have Andy O'Sullivan, founder of Academy of Public Speaker, with me today. Thank you for being here with me, Andy.
Pleasure to see you again, Nick.
You know, last time we did a recent interview with Andy, and it was Jonathan who did the interview with you.
Yep.
And if you haven't watched the video yet, check it out. I'm gonna put a link up here. And so in the previous interview, we talked about the fear of public speaking and tips on public speaking and how to overcome it and how to get started for those who may feel a little bit nervous, right?
Yep.
So today I'm here to pick some brains, well, pick your brain. I'm here to pick Andy's brain on to give us a little bit more tips about public speaking. So Andy, what would you say, apart from the tips you've given us on the interview already, what are the things that people are not doing? Let's talk about the mistakes that people do make on public speaking. What are one of the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes to public speaking?
I think the biggest one that I see when people are giving a speech or presentation any time is, first of all, they read to them. They either had tons of notes or they've got these slides at the back full of data, and then all people do is they read. Now, we can all read, or most of us, and we don't need that. And also, we read faster than people speak.
Yeah.
So therefore, if somebody puts up a slide full of data, we've read that before they're even halfway through.
Right.
So they're turning away and they're not engaging there. Because if you're looking around the back, or you've got big sheets of paper in front of you, you're looking down and away from the audience, and you always want to be engaging and looking at them.
Yeah.
So that, I'll say, one of the most common ones I see is too much notes, too many notes at the back, and then you just break up. You've got to be looking around at people.
Right.
So don't have too many notes. Don't have notes. Good, small cue cards if you need them, but no more than that. That's certainly a big one you see in the corporate world.
Okay, and I'm also aware that there are certain experts out there when it comes to public speaking. They talk about the body language. They talk about how you stand and how you should position yourself. I mean, is that correct, or what's your point on?
I think body language is important. Sometimes when we speak, and I used to be terribly guilty of this, is, for example, you come up the front of the speaking area, you may feel a bit stressed and tense. So the first things you might do is pace. And I used to pace up and down like a caged lion. Literally, we'll go up and down. So it's like somebody's watching a tennis match, just watching me. So I'd always say, stand steady. Come up to the front of the room, wherever you can stand.
I'm guilty for this one as well.
Oh, yeah,
I do walk left and right a little bit myself, yeah.
So you want to move with purpose, to push a point, to emphasise the point.
So it's to move with purpose.
Exactly, to anchor the point. Don't just pace up and down all the time. So I'd say, come to the front of the room, wherever you're going to speak, stand there.
Right.
Look at the audience and pause.
And pause.
And pause at that point. People believe there's some law that you must start speaking instant you get up the front of the room. Listen, you know what? Take a second.
So we can actually take our time, stand there and just take as long as we want.
Yeah, well, we're in reason. 10 minutes later, people might be wondering what's going on.
How long should you say you should like pause for?
A couple of seconds. Just get there, pause, look out of the room, take a good, slow, deep breath, and then speak. And that's good for you, because you're suddenly relaxing as you look out the audience, and they're sussing you out. They're thinking, oh, who's he? He looks like my son, my nephew, whatever. They're thinking about you.
Right.
And if they're thinking about you, then they're not going to be listening either.
Sure.
So just a couple of seconds, let you settle in, let them settle in to see you as well. And actually, it draws people in when you pause.
Yeah.
Maybe they look up from their phones or their notes or whatever as well.
Okay.
So it's good just to pause just for that second, and then trying to move around with purpose.
Okay. So another question. I know this will be a good one for most of you, because we get nervous.
Yeah.
The fear of public speaking, right? It's the world's number one fear.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that nervousness? And you know what? The reason why I bring this up is because I'm aware that you have a book coming out, and it's already out in Amazon.
It's out,
It's called Corporate Confidence,
Yep.
and I did have a skim past it. And one of the techniques was in there called the nerve neutralizer. So would you like to talk a bit about the nerve neutralizer, or just give us some tips? Yeah, nerves.
So I used to get terrible nerves. I really, even days, weeks probably, if I knew I got a speech coming up, I would get nervous. I'd get all the symptoms that we have, the dry throat, the palpitations, the stomach twisting. And I realised that whenever there's a speech or presentation, we all start basically being selfish.
Right.
We think about ourselves, and we all go through these series of questions about us, like, what if I forget my words? What if they don't like me? What if I look silly? It's all about us.
Yeah.
So we're projecting inwards. So as soon as we change that and start looking out to the audience, what can I do for them? What they like to receive? What is the one thing I want them to remember when this presentation is over? That reduces the nerves, because you're not just worrying about yourself and being selfish. You're thinking about other people, like you would do if you're having a party.
Yeah.
What can you do for them? That is a really more powerful way. Once you just change your mindset and think about other people and what is it you want to help them with, to relate to them.
Sure.
That helps.
And there was a breathing technique inside that book, wasn't it?
There is. The breathing technique is, which you can do at any time. For example, even you say you're sitting around a meeting table, and I used to do this, they go around a table, say in an office or a training event, and I get really stressed then, and even because I've got to say my name. And the technique I teach on the course is to sit there with your feet square on the floor, your hand relaxed, and to slowly breathe in for 3 seconds. Then hold it for 3 seconds. Breathe out slowly for 3 seconds. And then again hold it for 3 seconds. So you're just breathing slowly, and that regulates your breathing and makes it deep.
Right.
Because often what happens when we're nervous, we start breathing shallow and fast, and that puts more stress on the body because it's not getting the oxygen.
So let me try. Let me do a demonstration. So I'll breathe in slowly 3 times.
For 3 seconds.
Okay, 3 seconds.
3 seconds slowly in. Hold it for 3 seconds. Now out for 3. Hold it for 3. And just repeat that.
Ah, okay.
Nice, deep, slow, steady. And that really helps. You can do that, say, when you go around the table, when maybe you know you're going to go up to speak. It's just a great way to... And I know so many people I've taught that to, and they find it so effective. In fact, that's one thing people often come back to me and say, that really helps. I practice it, use it.
Sure. Wow, that's powerful. Thank you very much, Andy. Really,
My pleasure.
Really appreciate for the tips that you've given us. You also do, so apart from the book, you also have a one-day event, and you do that on a regular basis. So
Yep.
you're starting to do that on a regular basis. And
Next
would you like to tell us more, a little bit more about what would, so someone, if I was, for example, if I was to attend as an audience, what am I going to get from that one-day event? So what's the, what are the objectives of the one-day event, and what would the end result be?
The objectives of the course is to start you off feeling confident when you're going to give a speech. Know where to start. For example, if you've got a presentation speech, how do you start? How would you construct that speech?
Right.
What should you be thinking about even before you type a single word?
So it's about the structure.
The structure, we look at the structure, what you're going to do before you start.
Right.
There's things you should do that people often get wrong. They often think, for example, I'm going to give a presentation, create the slides. So it's how do you structure? What you should even do before you touch a laptop.
So the preparation side.
The preparation
right?
you've got to do about the audience, who's coming, how should you structure it. So there's the research you should do, how should you structure the presentation you're going to create, or a speech, whichever makes it difficult, the same. How do you deliver it, the process for delivering it, how to feel confident when you're delivering the speech. So it's a whole kind of beginning to end
Sure.
of thinking about your speech, how you deliver it, how you structure it, and how you feel in yourself and present it, and those key moments before you go up there when your nerves are at the peak, how we get rid of those. So you go up there, you look confident, you feel confident, and you have that positive impact on everybody that you want.
Okay, so who's this designed for? Is it for people who are just starting out, or would you say intermediate people as well?
I think this work, there's something in it for people who are starting out, people who know they need to get on to improve their public speaking skills, to get on in their career.
Yeah.
And I think that they're keys. It took me years to realise that good public speaking skills and confidence in meetings even, as well as presentation, really have to be there to get promoted.
Yeah.
You have to be heard as well as seen these
Sure.
days. So how do you speak in meetings confidently and project yourself as well? It's the same kind of techniques that we teach.
Yeah, and you know what? I know that you're an expert when it comes to influential leadership and corporate as well, when it comes to presenting for corporate. So would you say this benefit not just corporate people but also entrepreneurship as well?
Oh, absolutely. The techniques are much the same. Whether you're going to be presenting, well, you're presenting to anybody, you're speaking. It's really the same skills that you need to have that confidence, to get your message over clearly, and make sure people understand it and walk away knowing what you meant.
Okay, excellent. And we have we have on here, we will have attached a link of the details for anyone who's interested in Andy's one-day event. What's the event called, by the way, Andy?
Corporate Confidence.
Corporate Confidence.
Corporate Confidence.
Corporate
event,
Confidence is in the event. So we're going to have a link down below if you're interested, or a link attached on the video. And if you're interested, feel free to just check it out. But thank you very much for
My
your
pleasure.
time, Andy. Really
Good to see you
appreciate
again,
it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.